All right, everybody. Scott Pierce here. Going to be going over just sold marketing. Either as a listing or a selling agent today. So if you got a listing where you are the listing agent, beautiful. We got you covered. But also we can do it for a listing where you're the buyer's agent. In fact, I am going to share a ad that this client did. Let me make it a little bit bigger so we can all see it. So he came in the mastermind group yesterday. And I'll be walking through this a little bit later, but just while we wait for some people to get on here, I know people always come on for a few minutes and they always ask, are you recording this? Yes, we're recording this. We will make it live in our YouTube channel. In fact, it's there right now. Some of you may be watching us on YouTube, either live or on the recording. So I'll show you where that is in your account where you can access that. Go ahead and let me know where you're coming in from. So go ahead and type in where you are from, who your broker is, who you're with. And this ad right here. So he was the selling agent. His buyer bought this property, and I helped. At first, he had just the standard listings to leads text with it, and for just sold and pending, I don't like a lot of edits, but I looked up on Zillow. And he got it into contract in 37 days, I believe it was. I used ChatGPT to find out what was the average days on market for that area. It was 87 days. I'm like, dude, that is awesome. So I then used ChatGPT because I'm not very smart. And I said, what is the percentage faster when you sell something in 37 days versus the average of 87? And it came back and told me that would be 57% faster. So we put that there in the ad. And so we changed the ad from the standard just sold to just sold in Port St. Lucie, Florida. Another home buyer just closed on their dream home. And again, this is his buyer bought it. He's not the listing agent. Another home buyer just closed on their dream home, and we got it under contract 57% faster than the local average. We still have serious buyers looking for homes like this now. Could yours be next? This sale may have just changed your home value. Click below our text and then ask us about other buyers looking to buy a home like yours. Great ad. I love that ad. So Christina down in Jacksonville, Florida. Awesome. Thank you for joining us. Monica, good to see you as well with Just Realty in South Texas. Awesome. Good to see you. All right. Jennifer, Lake Norman Realty. Tell everybody at Lake Norman we said hello. Leo, my favorite Greek friend. How you doing? Haven't had a new Greek coin in a while, but I'm sure I'll be getting one at some point. I should at least have one of them on my desk. I've got like a few of them. All right, Christina Showalter. Awesome. Thank you for joining us. Everybody else coming in, please go ahead and leave a comment where you're coming in from and who you are with. Love to see everybody here. Janet, awesome. Augusta Real Estate Now. Are you in Augusta, Florida, or is that Augusta somewhere else? So, and I'm also going to be showing you today, I'm going to be walking through, if you've got a sold listing that I would consider like a marquee listing, right? And it doesn't have to be marquee, but just something that is a good sale. I'm going to show you how to flip it into a listing, like a general listing presentation. So you can leverage that great property, those beautiful photos in the standard listing presentation that is in your account available for you to use at all times. Because as you know, a lot of you, I hope know, you can create these custom for a specific listing, a specific canceled, a specific expired, a FSBO, and so on. But there's also the general one in your account. And so I'm going to show you how, when you're done doing the just sold marketing, how you can change it from just sold to listing presentation, and then have it available. So when you don't have time, or maybe you're at an open house and you want to have that listing presentation available at all times to be able to print up and take it with you, you'll have it there. So I'm going to walk you through that today as well. Super excited about that. All right. Coldwell Banker Premier, Palm Coast, Darlene. We got a lot of people down there, I believe, in your area. So hopefully tell them to get on these calls with us. All right. They need to be getting on these calls. We'd love to see more of them. And speaking of that, we do have somebody else from down there. So Ormond Beach, Florida, welcome. Or any of you, did I meet any of you when I was down there a few weeks ago? I wonder if any of you I met a few weeks ago. Lisa. All right. LPT Realty in Pensacola, Florida. Love it. Portland, Oregon. All right. Let's go ahead and get started. I think we got enough people on the call. Ooh, let me boom that. Let me come back here. I'm going to make that a little bit smaller. And again, I'm going to be reviewing this just sold ad a little bit later. But let's get yourselves over to listingstoleads.com. Go ahead and log into your account. Before we get into the account, I put this URL, and I don't think you can click those URLs in the StreamYard, but it's super easy. Listingstoleads.com/just sold. You'll notice that you can do any status: coming soon, just listed, active, open house, pending. And pending covers everything from active, contingent, under deposit. And then this one here is /just sold. And this is a review of everything in the green market listing button in your account that we're going to be going over today. And this is where where it's more of as if I'm sitting there next to you and talking you through stuff. So this is not a support post. And one of the first things I like to bring up is that when your listing is sold, so think about your listing, you're marketing it, right? It's just listed, it's for sale, you're having an open house. Well, the property description is written for buyers. But when the listing goes pending, and then when it changes to just sold, well, now you really want to be thinking about changing that property description, and go ahead and go to, again, listingstoleads.com/just sold. Click on those links. One is for listing agent, one is for selling agent. And you can just copy and paste mine and then use it in your listings, just edit it as appropriate. And let me just walk you through here what I got in my listing, which is our 100-point home marketing plan got over 50,000 views for this home. While some homes are taking longer to sell, our 100-point home marketing plan generated 45 buyer inquiries for this home, 12 showings, 2 offers, and a final sales price. And you can, like with, and we could have added like what we saw in the ad, sold 57% faster than normal days on market, sold 23,000 over the Zillow's estimate. We want to put things in there that are going to be motivating to other homeowners and would-be home sellers, because all of our marketing is going to be geared towards homeowners and would-be home sellers. Does that make sense for everybody? Matthew Driscoll, welcome to the call today. Nicholas from Round Rock, Texas. Awesome. Good to see you. I feel like we got a fair number of people in Round Rock that are clients. So with that, continuing on here with my just sold description. And then I got thinking about selling your home, our 100-point home marketing plan, right? For getting Folsom homes sold top dollar as fast as possible with as little stress has just been updated. This plan was benchmarked to top agents across the country, making sure your social media, video, email, database, and all are leveraged to the highest level possible. And then there's a version you can click on that page for the where you're the selling agent. And then notice in your single property website automatically is access to this. So right here on my screen, you're looking at, it says get top dollar. Get top dollar for your home with our 100+ point home marketing plan. Well, people can literally download this right from your single property website. It's absolutely awesome. So the more people we get here, the more likely and the more great leads we're going to generate. And if I keep scrolling down, a little bonus, you can add video. Not only can you add property videos, 3D tours, community videos. In fact, you see a 3D tour right there on below this. But if you wanted to do a video, either how you get homes sold in the area as a general video, right? Hey, this is Scott Pierce with XYZ Realty. And, we've sold 43 homes in the Granite Bay area with our 100+ point home marketing plan. We average our homes getting sold 20% faster than the average days on market, with a 2% increase in list price across all of our sales. And to come up with a good video, How awesome would that be to put that video so that it plays right there and people can just check you out and get to know you a little bit better? So if you're doing video, right, you're doing maybe TikToks, you're doing Instagrams, you're doing video on Facebook, YouTube, whatever it is, get one of those videos, put it. I would also put it on those other platforms, but get it in your single property website. It is so easy to do. I'll point that out a little bit later in this call on how to do that. And Matthew says, what do we got here? It says, yeah, but the problem is there's a lot of days to market these days. Yeah, no, totally right. Yeah, every market's going to be different. So, and everyone's business is going to be different. So when I'm talking through things like this, and Matthew, you may have missed the first part of the call where I was talking about a specific ad. So this guy right here, he was the selling agent, and they got that home under contract 57% faster than the average home. And so we leveraged that in the ad here. So I was referring to that a little bit earlier. All right, so pro tip number 1 is change up the property description to be more appropriate for a just sold homeowner, home seller audience. And then we'll go through Facebook ads. We'll talk a little bit about follow-up. Then we got the social media posts that we do automatically. The other thing that you're going to want to go to this URL for is for Instagram stories. And this is Instagram, TikTok in particular, but also be thinking YouTube as well, maybe Facebook also. Because on Instagram and TikTok, if you click here, there's some examples. Check this out. For free, and you can just take what I've done. You can copy what I did, use it for yourself. Notice I've got a poll. So I've got a sold, this home went pending, but you can say this home sold in 34 days and 57 days, whatever it is. And then I got some poll responses. I want to sell my home faster than this. I want the most money for my home. So what we're doing is we're leveraging that just sold listing, that just sold property, either as a listing or a selling agent, for free posts that have engagement opportunities on these different platforms. So check this one out. Just sold in Folsom. This is literally the social media image from listings to leads. You can download them, right? You can download them and then use those as a post image. I'll show you some video clips in a second. But check this out. Thinking about selling your home and want to download Secrets to Selling Your Home Fast guide. And then the poll answers are yes, I want to sell quickly. Secondly, I'm curious about selling strategies. Or third, I'm looking to buy. Any info for me? So I always try to do 3 responses, 2 that are to the affirmative of whatever the offer is. All right. So in this case, it's a just sold. We're offering a guide. And so I've got, yes, I want your guide. Secondly, is still for homeowners. I'm curious about selling strategies. And then the third one will be for the opposite. So in this case, for buyers. Next one here. And this is what's really cool on Instagram. You can literally link right from the story to a landing page. So I'm linking right to a what is your home worth landing page from Instagram. Let me show you another one. Here's another one. All right. Imagine, right? Just sold in Granite Bay. Get my 100-point home marketing plan now. And right in the Instagram story, I can link to my agent website from Listings to Leads, where the very first call to action is for my 100-point home marketing plan. And then I got a poll right below that. This home, my home would sell for more than this home, right? Yes, 100%. Yes, with a few small repairs. Maybe, maybe not. And the next one here, pending. Anytime you see these, just pending and just sold for this here are interchangeable. And you could use little video clips. You could use images, right? Do one with an image of the kitchen. Do one with an image of the front. All right. Just sold in Folsom. Free guide, home seller negotiation secrets. That's a very popular guide. And again, I'm just linking to it right from my Instagram story. So take a look at that. Here's another one, right? Another home sold in Granite Bay. That one's to the same. It looks like that's a similar one to the other one. The other one was pending. This one's just sold, but you get the idea. So yeah, take a look at that. Again, go to listingsleads.com/just sold. If you don't know how to do these, I got a little like 5-minute training videos on both Instagram and TikTok right there. Really, really awesome. Leah Kirkpatrick, 3 responses. I love that. When you say 3 responses, what do you mean by that, Leah? Have you done that and got good and got some responses? Because here's the thing, you might think you post too much on Instagram. Your audience, maybe 10%, see any one particular post. So not a lot of people are going to be overwhelmed. You could do 2 or 3 a day, literally. All right. Especially on the stories, and just use different images. Right. And again, if you go to open house, and if I go to the same, I should post some video clips. All right. So again, every status will have this information. But if I go here, you'll see the same idea, right? Little video clip. That's just the front of the house. So it's just a little bit of movement, right? Front of the house. Here's one where it's just, again, it's a little clip. I'm walking through the main living area. And then here I get the free ultimate guide to buying a home download. How would you use this space? So it's really your imagination that's limiting. That's the only thing. And I don't mean you have a limited imagination. I'm just saying there's a lot of opportunity to leverage the tools and offers in Listings to Leads. So all the guides, if you're doing just sold, take a look at the seller PDF guides. So if I go to PDF guides right here, you'll see all the seller guides that I can leverage. And so imagine I've got the front of the house of my just sold, and I offer the 100-point home marketing plan. Then I show a little video clip of the kitchen area, and I can go to seller guides, and maybe I offer home negotiation selling secrets, or how to sell your home in a changing market. I just grab the landing page right here. Right, so they've all got a landing page, how to avoid foreclosure, if that's appropriate. All right, they're going to be on their phones for the most part with these, so it'll work out perfectly. And then if you want to use a landing page, then just go to landing pages, and here's free home values. All right, click view, grab that link. I can create custom, what is your home worth landing pages. Maybe you want to make an offer for a cash offer. So we got the iBuyer cash offer landing page right here. And so the idea is to mix and match these offers of guides or landing pages with the just sold marketing. All right, John Joseph, how you doing? It seems like I just saw your name the other day come up within our system. I think maybe you just came back into Listings to Leads. Either way, welcome with us. Daryl, where do I go to on Listings to Leads? Daryl, for what? And we can put that in YouTube Shorts also, 100%. So when I'm uploading stuff, I manage my wife. She's a mortgage broker. I manage all of her social media. And so I do it to TikTok first. Well, usually what I'll do is if I need to, I'll go to Descript, and then I'll make all of my edits right there. But if it's an easy video where I don't need to do heavy editing, I'll just go right into TikTok. Because in TikTok, I can do really light edits very quickly. I like TikTok's editor the best. I'll do my captions. I'll use the edit split, make sure there's no pauses so that we're tight and good to go. Put it up on TikTok. Then I'll immediately download it, go to Instagram, let Instagram share it to Facebook, and then I'll upload it to YouTube. I go to ChatGPT. I have it. I download the transcript. I have ChatGPT write me up 2 different descriptions, one for Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, and then another one for YouTube, because YouTube only allows for 100 characters. So you're really tight on what you can put on YouTube. Yeah. Daryl's talking about the just sold Instagram. So yeah, go to listingstoleads.com/just sold. And you'll see it there. So again, for example, here's listingstoleads.com. and just do / just sold. And just I'll just, because I know a lot of you have already seen me do this. I'm not going to waste your time. Just super brief. The two things I want you to see here that you're not going to see in the account. One is the pro tip on changing the description to reflect the fact that you got it just sold. There's examples for listing agent and selling agent right here. And if you scroll down just a little bit, you will see for Instagram stories. And I should add TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube, like just anything vertical. Now, YouTube Shorts, in fact, I think they do. I got to check that out again. I think they actually may allow links. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know the stories do. TikTok does sometimes. I can't remember, but I got the training right here. So there's a little training on how to do that, and there's examples right there for you. All right, Daryl, thank you so much for mentioning that. Valerie, let's hold off a minute on that right there. But we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Kelly says, so just copy the link into the yeah, you know what I do? So if I'm on my phone, it's easy. I'm on my phone, and it's actually, I find myself on my phone more often in listings to leads doing things. And especially if I'm just grabbing a PDF. If I'm not doing editing on things, it's very easy to have listings to leads up on my phone, and I can just access it real quickly. I check my ads there. I can access a guide link. I can access a landing page. But yeah, so for example, let's just stay on this point a little bit more so we can clarify this for everybody. Kelly, do you have a just sold listing recently? I'm going to assume all of you do that are on this call. The replay will be on our YouTube channel, and just get to the mastermind group. I'll post it there. So again, I may have a just sold listing, and I want to take advantage of this great, because it's just more exposure, period, more branding, period. But it's also an ability to allow me to add a lot more value for free. This is awesome. And I can, get these guides in front of people, and I'm going to generate leads in the process. So whether it's a guide or a landing page, just come into listings to leads. So, take a quick look, right? 5 dangers of overpricing your home. That'd be a great one. Worst case, I would just copy the link and send it to myself via text. And it could be, and like I said, it could be a landing page. So I'm just going to grab the link if I'm on my laptop, and I'll just send it to myself via text, right? Because I can open up my text messaging app on my MacBook Pro, and I've got a, I'm sure we all do, right? I've got a text message where I can text things back and forth, or things that I want to save. All right, makes sense. Does that make sense for everybody? Let's get into marketing the just sold listing. Now, we've already had some great ideas for the marketing that are absolutely free. And remember, those examples in the just sold were all images, but I showed you some really cool little video clips on the open house. So, imagine the front of the home, and it's just boom, 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 a little bit of back and forth. And even if it's like a 3 or 4 second clip, what will happen is typically Instagram and TikTok, you can loop it, or they will automatically loop it to make it more of maybe a 12 to 20 second video. Worst case, what I've done is I'll upload the video to my story like 4 times, so it plays longer, and it'll stitch it together. You'll have one story of a 3-second video that is now 4 times 3 equals 12 seconds. And that way they can see it longer, read the poll, read the link, and actually click on it. Kelly, beautiful. Good for you. Good for you. Now, if you have a sold listing as either a listing agent or a selling agent, and it's not in listings to leads, here's what you're going to want to do. Click add listing. All right, up here on the left-hand side, the green button, add listing, manual, and then select the appropriate status. Either you're the selling agent, means your buyer bought the property, or you're the listing agent, you represented the homeowner. We will change the wording to reflect the appropriate version, and just add in your information. All right, if you're the selling agent, do not take the listing agent's photos without asking. you really only need one photo. So I don't need to have 34 photos for this. If you've got them, beautiful. But if you're the selling agent, you might just go take one photo of the front of the house to begin with, or to use. You'll click Save It, Add Photos. You'll add the photos. On the third page, you have the opportunity to add the seller or the buyer's information. And you want to do that just because we have some of those tools for the seller. So that addresses for those people who don't, because you may be a brand new client, you may be the selling agent, you may, just for whatever reason, that listing was never in your account and you want to get it in there. If you've got a listing that is sold, but it's not showing as sold, use the drop down right here in the middle and select either listing or selling agent. So you can go from active to sold, pending to sold. Maybe you're a very bad client and it was like active and you forgot to do the pending. That's fine. Just go active and select just sold listing agent or just sold selling agent. If you're the listing agent on active, you're probably the listing agent as just sold. So you'd select that one. And when you do that, all the tools are automatically created for you. You don't need to do anything. It's going to take maybe 4 to 5 seconds. It's going to reset. And now when I click on the green market listing button, you'll see it's going to drop me in the overview. If I click the green Learn More button, that's the same page that we were looking at, listingsleads.com/just sold. We've got a checklist, which is a lot of people like. I get comments on that people appreciate having a checklist. So this will just walk us through the social media free and paid, database email, and farm and circle prospecting. There are a couple of things here for listing agents only. So if you're a selling agent, you won't have those opportunities because, although actually you can still send them to your buyers. So there is that. And I'll mention that. So first up, Facebook and Instagram ad. I tell you, man, the average cost per lead used to be like 10 to 12 bucks. They've actually come down lately. They're down to like $7 to $10 a seller lead for just sold listings, which is phenomenal. And so here it's going to autofill with location. It's going to be a $50 budget. The ad will run for 1 week. And all you have to do is click create ad. Now I'm going to walk through this again, where I'm going to change the image template. I'm going to talk about custom audiences, and I'm going to talk about editing the ad copy just a little bit. But for 9 out of 10 times, that is all you have to do. It's literally that easy. Why? What you don't want to do is start overcomplicating it to the point that it just kind of destroys the ad. So here, let's do this again. Now here, let me just share with you. These are going to generate leads with name, email, and phone number, and selling time frame. And in the ad, it's going to ask them if they would like a copy of the ultimate guide to selling your home. So when they click on that ad, the first thing they're going to see is, what is your selling time frame? And they can just say, just thinking, all right, 1 to 3 months. Don't take too much stock into that. Some people get really bent out of shape when somebody says they're just thinking. I would rather get them into my follow-up before somebody else does. And secondly, when someone says just thinking, that means absolutely nothing. I have talked to people who generated leads as either just dreaming or just thinking, and they get a hold of them, they have a conversation, they talk about the market, whether it's a seller lead where they're talking about their marketing plan and so on and so forth. And the homeowner is like, oh, wow, like I could sell my home. Like it doesn't take me 6 months or whatever to sell it. Like you can literally get all of this done for me. And then they go from just thinking to selling their home in the next 1 to 3 months. So what I don't want you doing is freaking out when you see 12 plus months or just thinking. That may be the case. So be it, right? But at least you've got them now in your follow-up. The key is just keep generating leads, because we're going to generate, people are going to fall in all over the place on that timeline. All right. Now, I mentioned I'm going to do a couple of things different here. One is I'm going to change the text a little bit. Now, let me go back to this ad here where Hikaru was the selling agent. So his buyer bought this property, and it says just sold in Port St. Lucie. Another home buyer just closed on their dream home, and we got it under contract 57% faster than the local average. So he got it into contract with his buyer in 37 days. Average is 87. Again, I use ChatGPT to come up with that 57% faster. Continues, we still have serious buyers looking for homes like this right now. Could yours be next? This sale may have just changed your home value. Click below, because the primary lead form on a pending and just sold listing on the single property website, that primary lead form is for a home value. So there's nothing he needs to do. He just needs to run the ad like I just did. And when people click that ad, when they go through to the single property website, the automated lead form is for them to get a home value estimate. So here in the text, I'm going to put another home just sold. I'm going to put, and this is just one example. There's other examples. And I'll say 25% faster than the average home in Folsom. What am I doing? I'm just giving a little bit of color so that people, the standard ad will work great. So if you don't have anything, like you sold, maybe it sold a little bit less than what was being asked for. Maybe it sold for a tiny bit less than the Zillow's estimate. Maybe it sat on the market for 445 days. Don't worry about it. Just don't change anything. Just leave it as is. All right, you get me? You see what I'm doing right there? Just light, quick edits. I don't want to make this a whole novel. 95% of the ads that I see doing really well either use our default text or very, very light edits like what I'm showing you right here. I've seen a few ads do really well where they get this really long thing going, but more often than not, they actually don't do well at all. You can try it out, A/B test, see what you want to do. But I'm just letting you know, in general, you want to keep it short, but we do want to humble brag a little bit if we've got the capability there as appropriate. So that was changing the property description. The second thing of 3 I'm going to show you here is changing this template. You may have a bad template. So how do we make this better? And you can use video. You can use a Canva image. Notice right here, change image and video. But I'm just going to change the template. So we got 21 different templates. My favorite are the first 2. If your house looks great with that template, phenomenal. I like this one where the house is on top, but now I've got the banner kind of in the way. So I'm going to click, and you may have like 3 of the same images in the template. It might be front of the house from another angle, front of the house from another angle here. And so to change what's in here and even the color, click on edit. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the position of that banner. There's it might be hard to see, but when you're on your computer, you'll see I can change the text and I can change the position. Oh, now I got to do it again. And right here is a little bit better. And if you need to change any of the images in the template, right here where it says update image on every single one of these images. So let's say, I've seen this before. Let's say there's a staircase. Like, who wants to see your staircase on Facebook? So I can just come in there and I'll say, I want that backyard. That's a gorgeous backyard, right? So I want that backyard right there. And lastly, I want to change that blue maybe to red. And so I can say, go to red. I like red just because it's a little bit more, it stands out a little bit more in Facebook typically, not always. So now I can save it, and you will see now that will change in here. And so we want to make sure that we got either a good image, a good template, right? A good video. And if we're using a template that's got 4 images in it, we want to make sure each of the images in the template is good to go. So I've just shown you how to do that. And if you may have done that previously with the listing, and it's going to carry forward. So I don't need to do this at every status. And the last thing I'm going to show you is how to retarget. Now you can automatically retarget in listings to leads. If you're on the ads page, you'll see a little indicator or like a little line. It'll say, do you want to actively retarget your leads? All right. And if you just say yes to that, it'll just do it automatically. If you've got a list, like your database is uploaded as a custom audience, you go to My Plus Leads and you have a custom audience. Maybe you got it from 5 years ago. Maybe you uploaded it in another program. It will be available here in Listings to Leads. And it's just right there. Enter your custom audience. So just click. Usually they'll just like display like this. Now these are buyer audiences. I'm not going to run a seller ad to a buyer audience. I just want to show you how that works. And hit create ad. Yeah, you know what? We're not doing coming soon today. So that's a I think we'll be doing that call next week. But go to listingstoleads.com/coming soon. And all of our coming soon training is right there. And we got examples, but the text for anything I always recommend is our default text. I was on a call last week, a lot of people on the call, and somebody was started asking about, changing things and using AI to change the ad text. And other people were coming on and saying the listings to leads default text is better than most other text you're going to be using. I've done testing using AI text ideas where I'll give a prompt and I'll work with it a little bit, and then I'll use it as the ad copy versus our ad copy. In probably the 7 to 8 times I've done this, maybe more, because I've been doing it for like months. Like every week or so, I'll try it again. I don't think ever has the AI version done better than our default. Not even close. In fact, the AI version is usually like $7 to $8 for a buyer lead, where normally we want them between like $2 and $3, $4 a lead, not $7 or $8. So anyways, there's the ad. We got some very, very powerful things to get to, so I want to get to them. This is just the social media. This is like the standard post. This will post up to Facebook, X, LinkedIn, Pinterest, not Pinterest. You can share it to Pinterest, but it'll be Facebook, X, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Google. People will, and again, I can edit the image here. I can say, you know what, give me that image right there. Give me that version. For the post, I like it on the side. And let that cycle through. Mita, where are you coming in from today? I don't think I saw you mention where you're coming in from. All right. And then when people click it, let's see here. There we go. All right. And when people click it, they're just going to go right to the single property website by default. They will have the automated lead capture form will come up, but they can scroll down. They're going to be able to see the main images. If you've done any kind of videos, if you got your description changed, they can access the 100-point home marketing plan. They can get their free home value estimate all by default. There's nothing you need to do. All of that stuff will be there. Oh, I actually lived in San Francisco for 20 years. All right, next up, request for review. We want to get this to our clients, either as the buyers or the sellers. You do have a client review website from Listings to Leads. You might want to, so your seller information will auto-populate if you've added that previously, like I mentioned earlier. And you can send yourself a test email and make sure everything works well. And then when you're ready, just click send, and that will send it to the seller. And I'll show you. Notice it says client review. Hold on a second. There we go. Notice there's a tab here called client reviews. You get a whole client review website from Listings to Leads. And that link will take people here, and they can leave you a review. You will get notified. No, you can even change this link to your Google link, to your testimonial tree, whatever you want. But we got the entire system built in Listings to Leads as well. And we can pull reviews from Google, from testimonial tree, from Zillow as well. So we can pull your reviews in. You can add them manually. Like you see here, you can request reviews. When somebody leaves me a review there, I'll get a notification. I can come into Listings to Leads, review it, and then I can publish it. And you can see here, this is my client review website from Listings to Leads. Right? Awesome stuff right there. I can deactivate reviews if I don't want them on there. Like I said, I can come, and we've done this for clients, and clients have done this themselves, where you can just copy and paste them into your account. So you may have reviews, for example, on a website. Right? So maybe you got some old website, what have you. All your reviews are right there. You can just easily, like in 5 minutes, boom, 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 copy them all into Listings to Leads. Get this phenomenal, look at that domain, scottpierce.amazingclientreviews.com. You can, a lot of great tools to promote this. So yeah, take a look at that. We definitely want to share this to the seller social media. So again, this is a Facebook page. We want this on the seller's Facebook page. We want all of their friends to see the fact that we got their property sold. And you're going to see there's a social media post and there's an email. And I highly recommend that you send both of them to the seller or the buyer. So again, if you are the selling agent, this language will be a little bit different for you. Instead of saying, Scott got our property sold, it's something like Scott helped us get our property, help us buy a property. Awesome. And so what you're going to do, click the green send to seller. You can see the seller's information will auto populate. You can add it if you need to. Maybe you decide like, oops, I wanted to add the seller's wife or husband. So I can just say at the last minute, you know what, let's click send. That's going to send the seller this email. It's going to send it to you as well. The seller, they're going to think you sent it to them. So they're going to think that, whether it's Kelly or Mika or whoever, they're going to think, oh, right, you just sent me an email, something to post on Facebook. Now you're going to call them, but let's wait a second on that. I'm going to give you a phenomenal script that you're going to love. And we got this email as well. And so we want this to go out. And notice that, right? We want this in front of all of their friends. Because I promise you, they probably know somebody that's thinking about selling. They probably know other homeowners in the area. And if they can get that, if they will put that on their Facebook page and share it via email, we are going to get more great seller leads. I've had clients get listings from this, like literally for free, get listings by sharing this, sending this to the seller. The seller puts it on Facebook. Now, when the seller or the buyer put it on Facebook, go like and leave a quick little comment. Even if it's just like, thank you for trusting me and helping you sell your home. We don't want to get too crazy in a comment. We want to be a little bit down low, but we want to leave a comment because that way, when their friends start commenting on it, we're going to get notified. And I want to go like all their friends' comments because I want them to notice me. And somebody may leave a comment that is something that I can answer appropriately. Like their friends may say, beautiful photos. And you could just say, oh, thank you. We use a professional photographer for all of our listings. Somebody may say, wow, I can't believe you got a home, the property sold so fast. And if it was in fact sold fast, you could come in and say, yes, our 100-point home marketing plan is designed to help homeowners get their home sold fast and for top dollar. Does that make sense? So we can kind of make some nice, easy comments like that. on the Facebook post if appropriate. I don't want to get weird, right, and start getting too like boastful. Everyone's going to be different. Do what you want to do. Now, here's the deal. You're going to be CC'd on both of these emails. So you're going to know exactly when the seller got it. Call the seller up and just say something like, hey, Daryl, this is Scott. Want to let you know, or hey, Daryl, this is Scott. So excited for you that we got your property sold. If you need anything from me while you're on moving out, just let me know. I'm more than happy to still assist you. You are my client for life, and I will be taking care of you for life. In the meantime, I sent you a couple of things to post, something to post on Facebook and something to share via email, so we can let people know that this is a great market for getting property sold, right? And again, you're going to edit that script as appropriate for your particular transaction, but the gist of the idea is still going to be the same. All right. Makes sense for everybody? So I'm just get these to those sellers and or buyers. Next up is the nearby homeowner letter. This, we had a client a couple of weeks ago came in and she said, I send this out for my 100 times around my listing twice, usually once while it's for sale, maybe open house, just listed, and then again when it is sold. And you could do pending and sold, right? But if you can get this done around your listing, and for all of you who are selling agents, you can get listings from this as well. I had a client who added her listing to listings to leads as pending, got a listing before the property closed escrow. How phenomenal is that? Like, are you kidding me? You want to do super, super, super like the Facebook ad, but even less edits to this. I'll walk you through that, but you don't need to edit this at all. This right here, you can door knock, you can door drop, you can mail it. The only key is you want the envelope to look personal. So I want to have handwritten font. There is a website. Let me bring it up. Normally I have it up, but I forgot to bring it up. I'm going to do that right now, called Zaire Mail, which I really like a lot because you don't need a monthly subscription. It is super easy. Oh my God. There's some of those programs you get into, I do software and SaaS and all that for a living, but man, some of those programs you get into, and even when you've been in them for a while, you're just like, what the heck am I doing? With these guys, it's so easy. I don't need a monthly subscription. I can just go in there, and they've got the ability to have a handwritten font envelope. What other clients do is they will do it themselves, and they'll get like red envelopes, maybe green envelopes, yellow, some kind of fun, something that when I get it and I go to my mailbox, I'm not going to throw it away, because if it gets thrown away, we got nothing. And if you just send it out with some mailing service that's got, typed font, it's got, the indicia, it just screams business. It's going to go right in the trash, along with the, the cruise offers and all these other things that, we get inundated with. So if you're going to mail it, it's got to look as personal as possible. This would be one of the services I would recommend. And again, even here, just make sure you select the font for the envelope to be a handwritten font. And they've got like 7, 8, 9, 10 different handwritten font versions, I guess you could say it. The Valerie, Zaire, ZAIR mail, ZaireMail.com. In fact, I know you can't click on the link, but I'll drop it right here into the chat. Someone said, I'm sorry, my do not look, I don't know. JC, what are you saying? I'm not following that. Now, I did say you could make light edits to this. So, I downloaded it earlier, but there's an edit option and a send option. If I click edit, I bring it back up now, but now it's in the editor. And again, so this would be about as much as I'd want to do. I just let you know, just sold. for 23 over the Zillow in 46 days. Now, I might just leave it at that. I'm going to try adding about the 100 point home marketing plan, but that may be too much with our 100 plus point home. Yeah, I think that's fine. Right, but it's just 2 lines. If somebody came into the mastermind group a couple of weeks ago, and he goes, "Hey, I'm using the nearby homeowner letter, and I've been using them for like maybe a year, whatever it was, right? Like a long time, and I've sent out like over 1,000." And he goes, "I've never gotten anything from them." But what he showed us was not. It was not this. He took this and he edited it so much that it was just crazy looking, to be honest. All right. Slight, small edits. There's a lot of things that go into this as to why it works. And if you take this and you start adding he had his profile photo in the upper left. He had all these he had like 4 or 5 logos. I don't even know what that was all about, right? He had all these logos in there. And it just starts looking messy and salesy, and that's not what we're looking for. All right. What we are looking for is to provide some information that's valuable, that's interesting to a homeowner around that just sold property. And if I go in here and I just start, if I just start like throwing everything in the kitchen sink at it, it's going to absolutely decrease the value. Kelly, I believe they will. In fact, yes, they will. You can get a mailing list from them. If not, let me know maybe in the mastermind group, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I like the post-it note add-on. It's all Dan Kennedy, Craig. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. What I usually do is I'll go through a lot of different looks and places and ideas and distill it down. It's like editing, right? Like you'll write up whatever. You'll do research, you write up your thing, but then it's the editing of it that makes all the difference in the world. Because if you don't edit and if you don't do all that perfectly or well, then everything's going to fall apart. And that's what this other guy did. And it was just atrocious. I mean, it was literally a wall of text. He had all about me in here. He had all this other stuff that he added. And to the point where if you did not tell me that it was our nearby homeowner letter, I wouldn't have even known. Like it looked that different. And plus, here's the thing. You're overthinking it. All right. I don't want to say we've done all the work for you, but we've laid it out for you. All right. You don't have to go through all of this extra work to make it work. You just have to spend that emotional and financial and time on just getting it done, not taking what we gave you and acting like, oh, I got to go through and customize and this. No. You don't have to do that. All right. Now, for those of you that want to do postcards and door hangers, we got EDDM, we got jumbo, we got standard, we got door hangers, we got all sorts of different styles on the postcards. All right, front and back. The further down you go, the less I like them. Some of these are what you call user generated. This is meant to be, I can't remember what this was about, but it's like a flyer type thing. So some of these like flyer, jumbo, one-sided postcards for whatever reason, I don't know. But again, sometimes people come to us and say, well, can we do something like this? Okay, whatever. So circle prospecting script, definitely want to make sure if you are going to do a mailing. So for example, Kelly, so here, check this out. Yes, you could go to Zaire Mail or any of these services and get a mailing list from them. Or you might consider spending a little bit of extra money. Here we go. Oh, and for those of you that already have a subscription with one of these things, RedX, right, Vulcan 7, My Plus Leads, Prospect Boss, I believe. Get a list from here. If you're, this is more money, but you can get a list from My Plus Leads. So give me 1,000 home, or give me, yeah, let's just say 1,000. Give me 1,000 homeowners in this neighborhood. All right, now you got 1,000 homeowners. You can then uh, run it against the DNC. You can get all of the enhanced information. So now I've got 1,000 people in that Folsom area, in that part of Folsom, homeowners, 5+ years of home ownership, high equity, likely to move. So I got a really nice list. One thing I can do is use it as a custom audience for that ad that we did. So remember we did the Facebook ad? Well, I could have run that just sold ad to that custom audience. Now, I prefer to use the Facebook, let Facebook do its thing, because the Facebook algorithm is usually better. But you can definitely do a custom audience as well, and you can even do a custom audience for like $2 or $3 a day. So without overcomplicating things, and if this confuses you, what I'm going to say next, then just don't worry about it. But for some of you that get it, you'll appreciate it. I could run the just sold ad for, let's say, $100, like normal, like $100 1 week. And then I can run it a second time for $2 to $3 a day to a custom audience. Does that make sense? So there's a lot of really cool things that you can do, but I don't want you trying to become a tech savvy savant in lieu of being a real estate agent, right? If you just do our default stuff, you're going to be totally fine. Yeah. So anyways, my point, Kelly, though, was this. Then I can, I can say, let's take out 100 of that 1,000 and do the mailing. All right. So I'm going to mail the letter to 100 of those people. And then now I got the phone numbers and email addresses. I'm going to circle prospect them. So I'm going to call them up. We got a great script right here. So I'll call you up and say, hi, Kelly, this is Scott at L2L Realty, and I want to let you know that 1015 Riley Street in Folsom just sold, and it's just right around the corner from you. I sent you a letter with some great information on it. It's got a link to the property website where you can see all the photos and details and get more information about how we got that property sold. And I just want to make sure you got it. If you need to, you can text 37349 to 25678, or just text me back and I'll send you the link. And the reason why I wanted to send that to you is because all the home values around that property have changed. And I just want to see if I can send you, or what I would say is, I'm going to be sending you a updated home value estimate. And I'm just confirming with Valerie Wolf at gmail.com. Would that be the best email to send that to? Super easy, right? You're talking about a home right near them, so there's value being added right there. And there's a lot of strategies, right? Call them up once or twice, they don't answer, maybe I leave a voicemail. You've got the email. You can't send out stuff from listing. You can't add leads into listings to leads. So if you've got Follow Up Boss or even Gmail, you can send it to them from Gmail. In fact, when I am in My Plus Leads and I'm on a lead record, I can literally click the email address. It'll open up Gmail, and you can, for example, have this set up as a template, right? So you can take the e-flyer from Listings to Leads, set it up as a template in your email provider, just start sending them out to the neighbors because it's relevant to them. They live not too far from here. So this e-flyer is for your database. So we're talking about, sending it out to people off of a service like RedX or Vulcan 7 or My Plus Leads. If you don't have one of those programs, don't worry about it. You don't need more money spent at this point, probably. But if you do have them, I'm just giving you another idea on how to leverage that investment. Valerie, yeah, you'd have to go to My Plus Leads for that. Yeah, it's just a thing you do, and they'll run it against the DNC. But for the e-flyer for your database, for sure, I would send this to all of my leads in Listings to Leads. Why? Because it'll hit the inbox. When you email from Listings to Leads, we're over typically 95% for hitting the inbox versus your CRM, which, if any of you want to tell me otherwise, most of your CRMs are hitting the promotions folder, you're hitting the spam folder, right? Maybe half the time, maybe more sometimes. I know I've heard just absolutely atrocious numbers from people. Um, so here I can click the green send now button. I can select the list and listings to leads of who I want to send it to. I can send it to all. I can send it to my buyer leads. I can just send it to leads for this listing only. So different options, and then send it. I can also either click copy code or just click and drag down and just copy this email, right? Command C on my keyboard. So normally I show you hitting copy code, but here you can also just highlight and copy, go to your email, and just paste it in. It's super easy. And when people click that image, they're going to go to a landing page, the property website. Isn't that beautiful? Way better than what most of you are sending out. So let me show you where that goes. When they click either the link or the image, they go to the property website, right? We're going to, a lot of great branding here, a lot of great value here. And when they click the link or here, they're going to go to the home value landing page automatically. Nothing you need to do. You could have literally signed up today, added your listing, and this will work without you even knowing about it. And then I got my client review website, which I showed you a little bit earlier. And that's just part of my signature right there. I definitely recommend you call through some of your database. With all the marketing that we've got in listing leads, we got database call scripts for so many things. And I like the idea of just every day calling 5 to 10 people in my database that are not on my to-do list. So you may have your A leads, you may have your new leads, you may have the people that are in your 10-day follow-up, whatever. But I also like to call through my cold and older leads as appropriate. So if there's any homeowners that are in my database that I haven't talked to in a long time, I just want to touch base with them, because you never know. You never know when that next point of contact is going to result in a deal. And a phone call is much higher percentage than an email, right? You could also send this out, send the link out via text message, all right? But, social media is probably the least. Like, we got to do the most to get results. Email, right? That can work, but you still got to do more. But a phone call can be even better than an email or a social media post. And for the phone call, we got a great script. So I would call, you're in my database. I haven't spoken to you in, 2.5 years. You came in as a lead in 2023. I'm just making this up, but they came in as a lead in 2023. And I go through my database. I see they live in the same area. So I'm going to, what the heck? I'm going to call them up. And there's a version here, whether you sent them the e-flyer or not. I'm going to use a version where I did. And I'm going to call them up and say, hey, Daryl, Scott here at XYZ Realty. I want to let you know that 1015 Riley Street, not too far from you, just sold. We got it sold for $23,000 above the Zillow's estimate in 43 days with our 100-point home marketing. Actually, I don't want to get too salesy off the top. So I would just say we sold it for $23,000 more than the Zillow's estimate. I sent you an email with a link to the property website with all the photos and details. And I just wanted to make sure you got that. If you didn't, you can send me a text or email me and I'll get it over to you. And then you're going to see here, there's two different options. If they live near the property or if they don't. Both are designed to get people to engage with you. So if they own a home near the listing, I might say, because of this, your home value has been affected and has changed value just a little bit. And because of that, I'm going to prepare an updated home value estimate and send it over to you. Would Daryl@xyz.com be the best email to send that to? Make sense? The promotion folder is a great day for the CRM. Yeah. No, that's funny. Can you make the font bigger for instant update? Yes. Well, let me see. Hold on. Yeah, you know what? We probably should, huh? I know that looks, yeah. When I go, let's see, if I go to edit, if I click on the edit up here, edit, but yeah, that should be bigger by default. You're right. But yeah, here you can see I can edit it, make it bold, maybe make it blue or boom. And I can even, instant update for Folsom. And now when I copy whatever, and I can also just, and I can also use it without even having that. So what I do is I just copy this part. I like to start with the address only, and I can even delete it. Right? I think I can. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, if you need help, let our support team know. A couple more things I really want to make sure we get to here. Oh my God, it's already 12:06. I apologize. I do this all the time. Short form video script. So we talked about social media ads, social media posts. We talked about the Instagram stories, the TikToks, the YouTube shorts. We talked about all of that. You still need to do a video talking about this property getting sold. Take a inspiration from what we talked about with the Instagram stories. You could do 5 videos for that just sold. This would be the first one, right? The video script is right here on the right hand side. Hello, everyone in Folsom. You can send it to yourself by clicking the send button, or if you're on your phone, you've got it right there. So I would send it to myself. I would open it up on my phone and drop it into a teleprompter app. I mean, once you've done these for a few months, you don't even need a teleprompter app most of the time. And you know what you're going to be saying. So get that video done. Go to the property, record the video. If you want to use a teleprompter app and you don't know how to do it, we got links to a couple here on Apple iOS, on Google, and then the blue button is how to use a teleprompter app. That'll take you to this video, and you should watch the whole video. But this right here will start right where I show you how to use the app. So I walk through literally how to use that teleprompter app if you need it, but get that video done. And the last thing, that's it. All right, we got the property website for the just sold. We got listing flyers, but for most of you, and tell me if I'm wrong, but once a property is sold, I can't really go put just sold on the yard sign because the yard sign's coming down. Is this Bob Davies from Georgia? Is this the Bob Davies from Kennesaw? So if you can get one of these on that yard sign for any length of time, now when it goes pending, man, I want to make sure, when your property goes pending, you want to get this up there with the text information. Bob, I was thinking about you maybe about a year ago or year or so ago, and I was wondering whatever happened to that guy. So good to see you, man. Oh, you know what? Let me go back here. Yeah, Bob, send me an email. Love to hear from you. If you got the capability though for a just sold listing and you can hang a text for more information, we've got one that's right there. Get your home value. What I would recommend is download. You can either use dirt cheap signs here, or you can get them locally done, or go through like maybe Vistaprint, whatever. Right? You got options. But I would get these. Now, again, for just sold, I think it can be a little bit difficult because again, you've closed escrow. The ability to go put the just sold and a text information there, but when I'm talking about pending training, that is one of the big things I tell people is, man, get that yard sign screaming the fact that this home is now in contract or pending, because you're going to get more great seller leads. And if you can do it while it's just sold, phenomenal. Go ahead and do it. But if you can't, then just don't worry about it because you won't be able to. How do I get the review from Google? Yeah. Any other questions about anything not related to just sold for a few minutes? But Janet, to your question, click the client reviews tab over here on the left-hand side. And then there's a tab here called add reviews. And yeah, so Kelly, this guy, Bob Davies, was probably one of our top first 10 clients when we had like 7 people. I think, Bob, did you have to send us a check back in 2009? I think back in 2009, you had to send checks to us for the first 6 months or so. Anyways, so who asked this question? Who I lost? Oh, Janet, there you go. I'm sorry, I lost your thing. Anyways, how do you add reviews? So yeah, click add reviews, and then there's a green button, add reviews, and then manual, import, or request. So manual is what you're going to do if they're like on your website or on Yelp or Facebook or whatever. Import reviews, Zillow, Google, testimonial tree. I think for all of them, for Zillow, it's just put in your email and click import. For Google, you're going to click through to your Google. It'll say, yada, 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 do it, import. Those will come in. Testimonial tree, same thing there. You'll drop in a user token. And I don't know where all these people are coming from, but whatever. And then they'll populate. What's really cool is, let's say I get a review I don't want. I can turn it off. I can edit it. This is more for, when you're manually adding a review. I can archive them under pending. That's where we'll see the reviews that are not approved. So they'll kind of be here, and then I can approve them. Excuse me. Then they'll go from pending to approved. And I can also go request. So I can request reviews from people. There's an email right here. I can send a test email to myself. I can, add people to send the review to. Settings. I don't even know what that is. Let's see what settings is. That's your domain. You can change the thumbnail for what's going to appear when I put it up on Facebook. A couple of other little options. Tammy, holy cow. Yeah, Kelly, he's in Atlanta. Yeah. We were working on one for like the last year. Don't even get me started. In the next couple of 3 weeks, we're going to be taking people into beta on our new platform. We've got TikTok. We've got Facebook stories, Instagram stories. We got YouTube shorts. We've got some AI tools that are all either done or mostly done, that we're just waiting to get onto the new platform to introduce. We got a pipeline. Oh my God, we got this whole pipeline CRM kind of a thing where, just like a pipeline, and then you can have all your leads, and it'll have all the available scripts. Very nice. It's super sweet, because I get into so many of these CRMs, and it's so overwhelming. And the way we got this whole pipeline thing laid out, it's just all the leads are coming down. They come in like order of either when they came in, or their hot level, or if there's an action item related to them. And then it'll have how they came in, and available scripts that we recommend for that lead based on how they came in. And then you can do all these action items based on the how you want to do the disposition for the lead after you leave a voicemail or whatever. We've got text messaging from listings to leads coming in. We got so many things. Yeah. Anyways, and a buyer's presentation. What we've got for listing presentations, we've got for buyers as well. But it's just kind of being held up right now in development, because we don't want to add it to the current system, because we're going to be migrating from the current system into the new system here soon. Last thing I do want to show you, though, based on this call today on Just Sold, when you're listing, all right, so it just sold. Now, when we're done, and I say, give it 30 to 45 days of marketing. You got your ad that'll go for maybe a week. Maybe you run it for a second week. Um, Maybe you do the nearby homeowner letter. And so if you do, I want to leave that in for 30 days because people are going to have the letter. It's going to sit on their kitchen table. Now, if you delete the listing, they will all be taken to your agent website from listings to leads. So there's not going to be a broken link. You don't need to worry about that. But I do want to give my just sold marketing some time so that when people, they click, they go to something, they can see the listing, right? They can see the information about that property. So I'll leave it as either just sold listing or selling agent for about 30 days. And then after that, what you can do is click on where it says just sold listing agent, just sold selling agent. If it's what I would call a marquee listing, and change it to listing presentation, like I did here for 131 Tomlinson Drive. So this was sold. All right. It was just sold listing agent. And then because now if it was just a whatever listing, I'm just going to delete it and make room for another listing. But if it is a really good listing and I want to show it off to other people, I'm going to change it to listing presentation. And then check this out. Because I was talking about this earlier. When I go to listing presentation, all right, now pay attention if you like what I'm saying here, pay attention. Under listing presentation print, right, there's our PDF for the complete marketing plan. If I click download, I can select any listing in my account. And you can do it just listed, you could do an open house, you can do whatever, but I'd be more wanting to select a listing that I've already sold. Now, if you don't have any sold listings, add a dummy listing. Just add a pretend dummy demo, whatever you want to call it, listing to your account. It might be good for you to kind of get through how to do all the marketing tools, how to do everything. And you can add a listing as straight up listing presentation. And this could just be like I said, like a dummy listing, just so you can kind of walk through and be comfortable. Right. Oh man, Bob, I remember who you're. Oh, well, you're with KW before, I think. I'm not sure who you're with now. Oh, Kennesaw for phone. All right. Headline. You don't need to add anything other than street, city, state, zip, and one photo to create the listing presentation. So if you wanted to do that, and then that way you will, because we'll give you dummy, and our photos are really nice actually, but your area may have different style of homes than what we've got in here for what is our what do you want to call our sample listing, I guess. And so this is a great way to get a little bit more tailored or specific to your area. And you could have a couple of listings, right? One is more of like a modern home in one of those new construction areas, and another could be more of an upscale neighborhood, so that when you got a more of an upscale thing that you're doing. Because what I like to do is when I go to an open house, I want to have this. So any of you have an open house this weekend, I like having this laying around, and that is my my marketing plan. I also like to have a couple of PDF print flyers, right, in an acrylic flyer box. So again, click on the PDF guides, download a couple for the seller, a couple for buyer guides. I'm talking about the print flyers. Get an acrylic flyer holder, or just lay them on, a table, a desk, whatever. So your people coming through your open house can scan the QR code on these things and download those guides right from your open house. Does it send? You have to trip that off. So I showed that at the beginning of this call. Where is the for seller guide? Valerie, if you go to PDF guides, there's both buyer and seller. All right. So go to PDF guides, there's buyer and seller. Somebody was asking about the review. So any listing that's sold under market listing, there is a request for review. Fully editable. We got your listing leads, add review right there. But if you want to put Google in there, put your Google link in there. Put your testimonial tree or your whatever. But again, we've got a really nice setup in listing leads for you as well. Yeah. Now, Valerie, we've also got the one, and this is under listing presentation. I like having this there as well. So someone's looking at my print PDF listing presentation. I've also got the print flyer for that. And that is where you would expect it. But I know there's a lot in listing leads. So if you just go to, it's just under the listing presentation tab. So again, I'm under listings, listing presentation, and then right down here, print flyers. And that is the same thing as this. All right. But hey, can't believe how many people are hanging out on a Friday afternoon. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Is this what we customize for the listing presentation with proposed? Yeah, Kelly. Yeah. Exactly right. Definitely. All right. I got a split. I got another appointment coming up here in a few. Get into the mastermind group. If you have any questions, I'm there to help you out. Try to, I'm always bopping around that mastermind group and, I'm there to help out everybody. Have a great weekend. Kelly, yes. It could be canceled, expired, FSBO, or a listing presentation. So, yep, exactly. All right, everybody, listen, have a great one. Don't forget your affiliate link. You got an affiliate link right here. I hate it when people are signing up and they say, I heard about you from, Kelly, but then they're not using Kelly's affiliate link. So I want you using your affiliate links here. So if you're going to tell somebody about listing leads, use that because you get 15% recurring, no cap, no limit. And with that, have a great weekend. And for Bob Davies, dude, it was awesome to see you. Get yourself into the mastermind group as well. Drop me an email. I'd love to hear from you. All right. Thanks, everybody.